I thought I would make another video just for the heck of it. So this morning I got up, I took out trash, and it actually wasn't really that cold. I went outside wearing my hoodie and my shorts, and you'd think I'd be freezing, but it really wasn't that bad. Now, the last couple nights, as I said before, it was freaking freezing. I was actually happy that it wasn't windy or cold. I honestly was expecting the wind to blow because I can't, it blows quite frequently because when you're in the Texas Panhandle and there's no mountains or anything like that, you're bound to get wind all the time. Now, in the summertime, the wind doesn't bother me. It's like standing in front of a fan, but in the wintertime, I can't stand that wind because it makes it a lot more cold. It was nice to go outside with no wind, and it actually felt like 50 degrees. I'm like, it's probably 50 degrees already, maybe almost 60. As long as I was in the sun, I was warm, I was just fine. But if I was in the shade, I was cold. It was pleasantly nice, and the reason why I did that, because last night I did not want to take out the trash because it was way too cold and windy. It was colder than hell out there. It felt like freaking Minnesota. And I was joking. I asked, can we go to Minnesota? No. I'm like, that's kind of how cold it feels. I've never been to Minnesota, so I wouldn't know, but I was just joking. And tomorrow, they're talking about possible snow, like late tomorrow night into Tuesday morning, part of Tuesday afternoon, and then I don't even know if we're going to get it or not, to be honest with you. I mean, they say it's gonna snow, and we're like, yeah, right. But here's the thing, it doesn't snow very often, and when it does, we don't really get that much. I mean, the most snow we got, that I remember correctly, it was that blizzard we had in 2013, and that was a long, long time ago. This winter, it really hasn't been that cold since, well, at the beginning, about a month ago, at the start of winter, it was freezing. It got down to the single digits. That's the coldest it's been so far. It was nice to have a break from the cold weather. Like, this reminds me a few years ago, during the winter, we didn't even get any snow, and the coldest it got was like 50 as long as the wind wasn't blowing. I mean, I was able to go outside wearing flip-flops, and it wasn't even that bad. And I would go outside without a jacket. It wasn't that cold, but at the same time, during that point in time, I was nearly 200 pounds and didn't really feel cold at all. That's a whole different thing. If I go outside and it's like 50 or lower, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna need a jacket. It's a little chilly. Thank goodness I was able to take out trash without being in the wind. I just don't even, and another reason why, like I told you about my freak accident with my glasses, the reason why they broke, because as I was putting the trash in the dumpster, it hit me in the face, knocked my glasses off, and when they hit the ground, they split in half, and I was like, no. Anyway, it wasn't a big deal, but I'm gonna get new glasses soon anyway. I'd rather break my glasses than break a bone in my, like I said before. So that's why you see me wearing these ones, and these are my old pair that I've had for a while. Anyway, right now, I can't really tell. It's like 46, almost 50. I just don't even want to go out there if it's windy and cold. So this morning when I had to take out trash, I was expecting the wind and the cold air, which is why I waited to get my coffee afterwards, because if I froze, the coffee would warm me up quick. I got that done and over with, and we just had green chili casserole for dinner, which was really good, and I think we're going to have that for supper again tomorrow night, and we're going to have some leftover catfish for lunch, so that'll be good. I'm going to get back to doing what I'm doing. I just got through watching a Marilyn Manson concert, and I got to thinking, why would I go and sit in the nosebleed section when he'd be this big on stage? Well, this is how big he was when I was seeing him in person back in 2015. When I can pull up a concert from him on YouTube and watch it on this nice TV and be comfortable and get a much better view. I'd rather watch my concerts on YouTube or watch DVDs of him. I would go see Marilyn Manson in person again if I get an opportunity, but I don't think it's going to happen again, but you never know. I like going to concerts, but I don't know if I'd want to pay that much money. Now, when I lived in Lubbock, I went to concerts all the time. Like when I was 21, I went and saw Alice in Chains, and then I went and saw Weird Al Yankovic. Now, I've seen him multiple times. I've seen him in concert 3 times. I would pay to see him again. I'd also watch him on YouTube. For those who don't know me, I like going places, but at the same time, I'd rather spend my money on something that I can enjoy longer. Like, I learned this lesson when I went to SeaWorld back in. It was one expensive trip, and I was broke I had to recover. It took me a little while to recover from that. I learned my lesson. I'd rather spend my money on stuff that I can enjoy longer. I honestly have not been to SeaWorld again since then. Now, at the time when I went to SeaWorld, I needed a change of scenery. I was spending a lot of time at home, and yeah, it was nice to get away, but looking back at it, it really wasn't worth it. Now, going to see Marilyn Manson in concert was worth it. Now, let me tell you something. When I went to see Bon Jovi back in 2013, I do have old videos, which the quality is not that great. It's not no 4K videos like you see now. At the time, I was using the camera on my slider phone because that's all I had. I didn't have the nice camera that the iPhone has, but at the time when I went, it was behind the stage with very limited view, and I was up in the nosebleed, and we ended up moving down so we can at least get a better view. We still had a limited view at the time, and nonetheless, I can say that I did. When I went to the hockey game in Dallas a few years ago, I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I watched it from the Jumbotron because I can get a better view. But also, would I go to another professional sporting event again? Probably not, because I can sit there from the comfort of my own home and watch the games. I go to the hockey games here in town because here in town, no matter how far I am, I can get a good view. I mean, the Coliseum that the Coliseum that the Wranglers play in, the one in Dallas is like 10 times that size. Don't get me wrong, if I had the opportunity to do it again, would I? Absolutely. I would rather just go to the hockey games here in town because it's like literally right there, and I don't have to worry about spending so much money. So yeah, I've been to a Ranger game once, and would I go again? Probably not. You're probably, as you're sitting here watching this, you probably think I am a homebody. I kinda am, but then again, I'm kinda not. There's times where I do want to go, and times where I'd be like, I don't know. I like to go and do things that I enjoy, and I like to spend my money on things that I can enjoy longer. Like, for example, when I bought that laptop. And why would I spend an arm and a leg on going to a concert when I could easily buy a $600 laptop and get more use out of it? Watch concerts on YouTube and get a much better view and not even leave the house. That's the way I see it. That's why I haven't been to Bon Jovi since then, because it was very limited view and they were this big. And it was, the good thing about it was Richie Sambora's last night, and I was in the same room with Richie, and I got to hear him sing live, which was really awesome. I'll never forget. I have that recorded as well, but again, the camera quality is crappy, and the sound is kind of crappy as well.